Well, what's going on here at Rice Acres? Well, recently somebody asked me, a few people asked me, where's the update at Rice Acres? Now, unfortunately, I don't do this full time, so I don't have time to film everything. If I did this full time, you would even know when I'm showering. I know some of you out there may like that. But, you know, I don't have time to film every step of the way. I wish I could. But, you know, a lot of times I'm under time restraints, so I have to get a lot of work done in a short period of time on the weekends after work. And now, you know, we're heading into winter. My daylight's very limited, so I'm even working underneath lights sometimes. But I'm going to give you an update here where we are. We are getting very, very close to the construction on this project and some other things. So we're going to take a walk around here. We're going to do a full walkthrough and show you where we're at, guys. Let's get after it. All right, so if you guys haven't been following along the way here, the couple of episodes, actually probably quite a few episodes I've done already, I got this fence installed. But let's start from the beginning here. We purchased 2.4 acres of property here in South Carolina. So I've been prepping along the way here for the house build. The permits are in the county right now getting reviewed. We got permits that we needed for our temp power, so temp power will be hooked up here soon and all that stuff. But we got 2.4 acres here, and I did the math, and we're going to walk around this whole thing here. We did the math, and I got about 1.96 acres cleared out of 2.4. A little less than a half an acre is left back through there, but I really think it's more, maybe like 1.8 that I cleared just because of the angle that's going on. But there's still quite a bit of property that needs to be cleared yet, but I think we're going to hold off on that because all that brown stuff back there does turn nice and green in the spring and summertime. It's a nice little buffer, against the backdrop here, because there is property next to us that one day somebody could build, some houses over there. They're still bigger lots, but it gives us a buffer. But I put fencing up, so I did 515 feet of fencing, did it myself, put every post in, put every board on, so forth and so on. We got that done, and we got it stained. I do have videos on that as well. Maybe I'll leave those at the end of this. And I did a temporary gate right here in the front. So eventually this gate opening will be really big, and I'm gonna probably do like Rice Acres above it and do like a little whatever, something cool along the way, almost like kind of ranchy looking, and probably a power gate along the way. But I got the fencing done down that side and down that side. If we ever get any animals, that we may do maybe like a cool chicken wire fence, a little nicer looking fence along the outside if we need to keep some animals in and we want them to be able to roam the whole property. And things are coming along good, but a little bit slower than I wanted to, but no big deal. We're like I said, in the next few weeks, probably 3 to 4 weeks, a lot of things are going to be happening. The permit process is taking a little bit of time, and unfortunately we can only force that so much. I'm expecting building to start possibly mid-January. We plan on having the house built probably, I would say, maybe June-ish to July, being this is getting pushed back a little bit for it to be livable. I did plant some bushes along the fence down to a certain point and along this over there. These bushes here, even though they're small looking now, get 50 feet tall. So it's going to be a big barricade. They're going to grow 5 feet wide in each direction. So I got them 10-foot spaced here. So it's basically, let's say 5 years from now, I'm expecting these things to be, maybe 12 feet tall. They grow like 3 feet a year and start to create a little bit of a buffer, kind of make us a compound back here. And I may even add more along the way down the line, but I want to keep away from the septic. You can see here, we got some furniture here right now because we did move out of our house. You're going to see this video a couple weeks from when this is actually being recorded, but from the time I recorded this video, a few more days, I am picking up the RV that's going to be sitting right there. I got the temp service ready. If you guys follow me on social media, I did like a little video of putting this temp service in, but I didn't do a video of actually like doing the install. So that's going to feed our well and our RV and construction during the during the construction of the house, and our RV that we're going to live in for 6 months, 7 months. So, but we are out of the house, so I had to bring some lawn furniture over here, but it's gonna be kind of cool because we'll kind of set this up and be able to hang out, and the construction workers can sit here and have lunch and all that stuff too, as well, as long as they don't get food on my couches. We got stakes here for where the house is being laid out. We actually going a little bit smaller. I just talked to my wife about it. I thought it was 2,500 square feet, but it's about 2,300 square feet, and we've always had like 3,000 or so along the way, but we're going back down, we're scaling down, but we're doing a ranch. So the house itself is about 70 feet deep, 70 feet wide, and then there's gonna be a 3-car garage back there, but we'll kind of walk around that. But that's the markings for the house layout, and I kind of kept it this way in the property, and I'll tell you why when we get this way. Here in the back we cleared some more property, and when we got the permit for the or let me rephrase that. When we purchased the property, there was already a perk test done for the septic, and they placed the septic in the back of the property. So it works out well, keeps it out of the way. It's in the corner, and that's great. So these 4 markers here is where the septic's going to be. You know, we're going to have the tank right here, and then we'll have the leach field. And there's also 20 feet of room for expansion for the septic. And I've been grading a lot. We cleared all this out with a big excavator. We did some controlled burns. So I cleared out some more here where the septic's going to be. And you can see I got a little bit of a hump right here, but this extra dirt that's sitting here is actually going to be kind of placed up here when the septic goes, and then we'll continue grading. But I did all this grading along this whole thing with my little tractor, and it's worked out pretty well, you know, between that and the box blade. So this marker right here is the back of the property. So we're about almost 400 feet deep coming this way on the property. So the septic's back here, and then from previous videos I kind of walked you around that trail back there, so I kind of cleaned the trail up. This little trail here is still on our property. Moved some dirt back here. I still have some, you know, obviously a whole bunch of finished grading and landscaping to do after the house was built, but I kind of cleaned up the trail here for my son to ride on the dirt bike and all that stuff and have some fun back here. So we kind of have a trail that runs through the back of our property where we're still leaving all the stuff built up here and kind of give us our buffer. But he's got a cool little trail back here to ride on. I've walked this before on previous videos. Moved a lot of dirt around here. I did some grading, elevated this trail a little bit to keep the water off it. There's a lot of trips back and forth here with the tractor, but this runs all the way around. What I think I'm going to do is back here is put a gate across this as well, just to kind of, you know, fence this in back here some. So you can see it's graded to a good point. I'm going to have the water kind of run down through here and kind of drain out the back of the property here. I'm still going to have to do some more fine tuning when it's all said and done, but this is a good start for the builder to start on. You know, give him a nice clear empty lot. The well is going to be in, the septic's going to be in for him. So we're going to have like a nice little ranch here. We never had a ranch before. We've always wanted one, and it's nice that we can finally build one now for ourselves and give us just what we need and a little bit more. And what I mean by a little bit more is that we're gonna have a 3-car garage. So we'll have the double door here. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna come in, you're gonna drive down here, and that stake, not this tall pole here, that stake over there is a house. So you're gonna come in, driveway will come here. This will be the left side of the house where the garage is, and the garage is at the back, you know, kind of you could say the back / side of the house. And once we get we actually have the drawings for it, but once I'm ready to share that with you guys, I will show you some elevations of this. And I'm also going to tag the builders and some social media and stuff too, and you can see what they do. But the garage is going to be basically back through here. So this will be a little garage door, which is going to be my conditioned shop, my clean shop where tools are going to be, filming, air conditioning, heat, and all that stuff. And then we'll have a, you know, like a 1.5 car, 2-car door, bigger door, and this is where my wife will park in, and she'll have plenty of room here to park and then also store her decorations, all that stuff. And on my side, I'm going to put a wall in between in the door, and my side will be insulated and conditioned. That I may film some as I do that, and I'll have my condition, like, you know, my clean room, my tool room, my filming room, whatever I want to do. Probably put a TV in there and all that stuff and use that as almost like my filming room for you guys. So we're excited about that. This mound of dirt over here is the best dirt I could find on the property before I start buying some, but that's going to build up my pad here because I'm going to keep the same elevation as the top of my house to where that dirt's going to sit, and I'm probably going to get about another 40 yards. And this is going to be, this pole here is going to be back about another probably 10-15 feet. I think we're going to shift this down because of our offset of the fence. I'm going to do a open pole barn. It's going to be for my tractor, my trailer, my kayaks, my truck, my son's truck. I don't need it to be enclosed, but it gives protection against any hail damage because I've had hail damage since I've been down here from previous storms on other vehicles. So it's just going to protect me from hail damage, give me some, you know, some protection that you guys know I need, and be able to, you know, change the oil on my truck, do things like that underneath a roof. Then maybe I'm going to enclose the sides of the lean-tos with like that open concept still look, you know, when you got the race houses down the Jersey Shore or down here in the Carolinas, they just put like the, you know, the 5-quarter boards, you know, horizontally along that, and then you just leave like a little bit of a gap in between and you just paint that. So it kind of gives you a little bit of seclusion, but at the same time it still gives you that open feel and allows breeze to go through. So that's overall, guys, where we're at. You know, as I do some interior building and stuff like that for my shop. I'll film some of that for you guys, but I got a lot of videos coming up as this process goes on, and of course always my fishing videos. So if you guys have any questions, just drop them in the comments. I'll get back with you as always. It's gonna be fun, guys, so I hope I can take you along for the ride as much as I possibly can and film. You know, we were gonna do this ourselves, but pricing it out, believe it or not, was cheaper having somebody build it for us than us doing it ourselves. I guess because of our connections. No, it doesn't sound right, but when I was up north with all our connections, not saying we paid them the fair amount, but it could always be easier doing it and subbing it yourself and basically project managing your own build. But after we started pricing some things out, guys, it was cheaper for a builder to build this. You know, you don't follow me on Instagram or Facebook. I hope you guys have that stuff. If not, sign up and get it. I'm gonna try to do some photos on there and some pictures along the way, and I'll tag Ragland and all that good stuff too. And you can see the process besides of me filming it ahead of time before it gets out here on YouTube. So it's a good way to go, you know, check in on me a little sooner than what you guys see here on YouTube. So as always, guys, be safe on the water. I'll catch you in the water or see you here from beautiful Rice Acres. At least it's beautiful to me. Maybe not you guys, but we like it. So catch you guys soon.